Welcome to your daily tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. This is a message that Spirit wants you to know. My name is Michelle, and I'm an astrologer, tarot card reader, oracle card reader, and all around energy channeler. And I create these daily readings with a live chat so that you guys can discuss amongst each other, point out things to me. This is a general reading, so I don't take individual or specific questions. If you are looking for that, check out Born Without Boundaries Tarot. That's my premiere channel, where I upload 12 zodiac specific videos every single week. And on Fridays, I do a live chat for everyone where you can ask me your tarot card questions. So I hope you find me over there. This is a general reading that will answer your questions simply because you were drawn to hear it. If you are listening to this video, something about it drew you to it. And that's how the energy reading works. That's how the energy works. You're drawn to it. And so you participate. Hey guys, it's nice to see you here. Thanks for logging on. And then we have the active chat during the reading, which makes things just a lot more fun and social. So, hey, it's social media, you know? Yeah. So where we start every single day is where is the moon? The moon is in Cancer right now. I know this because we checked the charts yesterday. The color of the day is turquoise. And let me point this out, butterballs, my babies, my sweet nips. Here we are, Cinco de Mayo, honeys, Cinco de Mayo. I hope you have a great, great time and get a chance to celebrate. Today is Thursday, and Thursday, after all, is just unofficial Friday. So let's have a great time. let's enjoy ourselves. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining. So feel free to talk amongst yourselves. In terms of the astrology, I'm going to grab the charts and just check out the astrology today. The big things that are happening. Okay, so on Born Without Boundaries Tarot, I debuted Aries, Gemini, and Taurus, and okay. I feel like though everybody is feeling this energy, that's sort of the hot spot right now because there is a lot happening in Aries. There is a lot happening in Taurus. What is happening in Taurus is the North Node clearly is still there, which is difficult energy. It's necessary energy, but it's also challenging energy. And then we have the sun, which is always prominent energy. And then we have Uranus. And then we have Uranus, which is also big time energy. But the thing is, we have the sun conjunct Uranus. And yesterday it was perfect conjunction. It's still in a strong conjunction, only 1 degree away from each other. So ultimately, this is something that happens, I think, once a year. The sun conjunct Uranus, and the fact that it's in such a precarious position, such close proximity, I should say, to Pluto is also trining the North Node and Mercury. What does this all mean? Ultimately, Pluto in retrograde definitely sees, knows, and understands the underbelly of things, stuff that tried to hide but can't. It's almost like the beast that can't control itself. That kind of thing. The primal that just seeps out somehow, some way, and then it's trying to Mercury. So there's being able to discern it, to see it, to speak about it, to talk about it, to be able to prove it, show it. I wouldn't say you can understand it. You can't control it, but it's more a sense of, to give intellectual kind of tangibility to this primal energy, these peaks into the deeply psychological, the dregs of who we are, maybe even our social systems, our character. I feel like this has farther reaching implications. Pluto's also, however, sextile Jupiter. So Pluto is sextile Jupiter and trine Mercury. That's really powerful energy, especially when it's all geared toward being comfortable, that comfort zone, that trine between Pluto and the North Node. Okay, I'll get this done. Yeah, you will get it done with these like positive, negative. More favorable aspects to Pluto bring a lot of power. They bring a lot of energy into things. They get things done. They make moves. They make change. And then you have Uranus conjunct the sun, change. But what is it changing? I feel like it's changing aspects of ourselves that are still surprising us. There are things about who we are or our society that are still surprising us, things that we didn't expect. And ultimately, when it comes to Uranus conjunct Sun, there's a lot of social change around that. So it's changing in a surprising way, in a way where we're more comfortable with our more primal side. And instead of saying the beast is bad, instead we incorporate the beast. And so that will be reflective in social change. This sense of what we damned or what we tried to hide, us now being able to talk about and even find interesting in a way. So that's what's going on in the cosmos today. Venus in Aries, you know, she's getting more comfortable there. She's still in the first degrees. This is very pop offish energy. So, especially if you are in Aries or Libra Taurus. And that's why I say it's like Taurus has such a hot spot now for energy, because Taurus, of course, is going to always be impacted by where Venus is, but it's also where the sun and Uranus is conjuncting. So there's just this sense of, especially for Tauruses, maybe trying too hard or diving in too fast or feeling that you have too much to prove, because change ultimately is in and of itself very difficult for you, right? So there's a sense of trying too hard to pretend I'm okay with these changes, when in fact, maybe I need more time. But with Venus and Aries, really feeling pressured to catch up with the crowd. Be you, boo. Be you. That's the major challenge of any planet when it goes into its opposite domicile, when it goes into its detriment, when it goes to a place where it's just not welcome or familiar. Like Venus is a country girl. She don't like the city. She likes glamour. She likes fashion. She likes all that, but she likes really valuable beauty, which ultimately the penultimate of beauty is natural beauty. So ultimately, when Venus goes into Aries, which is high performance, get things done, like grind it out, muscle cars, I lift things up and put them down, that kind of energy. This is like the country girl thrust into the big city. It's not that she can't handle it or find great things to do there, but it's still not her comfort zone. So ultimately, there's this pressure whenever your energy is in at its detriment to feel like you have to be something you're not, to feel like in order to conform or feel upset with yourself that you can't keep up or you can't conform easily. So with Taurus, there's more of just a conflict with maybe you're not comfortable with the changes and being able to utter and say, speak, I'm still not really comfortable with this. This isn't who I am. I don't really like these aspects. And so I can choose to not be a part of them. The negative dynamic, or no, the unbalanced dynamic is, because I'm uncomfortable with it, nobody should be doing it. And because I'm uncomfortable with it, everybody should be disallowed, right? Like, I don't want anything around me that's making me uncomfortable. No, this is a chance for us to really be able to understand that people around us can be doing different things from us, and we don't have to be comfortable with it. But ultimately, we have a choice. We have a choice to engage or not engage. And there's no reason why we should feel bad about not engaging with stuff that we don't feel comfortable with, while simultaneously respecting somebody else's right to be able to do it. Other people around us are not responsible for our comfort. We're responsible for our comfort. To a certain degree, on a societal level, we are responsible for each other's safety. And part of that safety, a major cornerstone of that safety, is to respect people's boundaries or respect other people's choices, right? The conflict happens when there's disrespect, when there's not even an open mind to know or to understand. And with this sun in Taurus, we want to know, we are curious, but especially for Tauruses, you might try to conform too fast. You might need a little extra time and feel like you don't have it right now. So that's something to watch for. With Gemini's in a beautiful spot. They really are. I can't say it any better than that. They're in a beautiful spot. Mercury is home, baby. It's home. And it's trine to Pluto. So there's this really easy understanding of ourselves, yourself, the deep, the beast within, the primal aspects of yourself, but also a sense of feeling really comfortable and being able to read others very, very easily, and being able to get right to the heart of the matter, or feeling like, people may open up to you a lot right now. Oh, thanks so much, Attila. You're such a blessing. God bless you, sweetheart, and your beautiful little namaste bear. You're the best. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this profound sense of like being able to dig in and not being afraid of your darker aspects, and being able to articulate very clearly what it is and what you feel. So it's almost a very different dynamic, very opposite dynamic from Taurus, which is you're sitting with a lot of comfort in yourself, especially because while that Pluto trine Mercury, which is in your first house, it's in Gemini, and it's also your ruling dignitary. Pluto's also trine to Jupiter, which can figure out anything and find a way to get anything done, and nothing is going to intimidate this. That we're whatever you hit me with, I'm clever enough to figure out, and I'm not going to, because I'm not scared of it, right? It's almost like the difference between a stunt car driver going into a middle of something and a normal driver going into the middle of something. Is like a stunt car driver, they're not afraid. They're trained to not be afraid. They're trained to how to react with the unexpected, or the terrifying, or they're in crazy situations, even how to react with what you can't control, right? It's really master improvisation, and that's what a lot of Geminis have to look forward to: master improvisation, knowing how to come back, knowing how to talk, knowing just the right things to say, because you can really get a sense and get a good read on what's going on and under people's skin, and what really drives them. So you can either take advantage of this, or just use it to help yourself out, which is the more balanced vibration. Any of this energy can be used low vibrationally. I tend to focus on not low vibration. I like in an unbalanced, greedy way, but I like to focus on balance. Like, how can we use this energy in a balanced way? And Gemini, this is really a beautiful time for you to be extremely comfortable with yourself, understand who you are, and be able to really clearly articulate who you are, so people either don't feel uncomfortable with you, or so they understand you without being able to put something on you that you don't deserve, right? You'll be able to easily articulate and see, well, maybe this person's scared, so let me talk to them in a certain way. Maybe this person is just ignorant, let me talk to them in a certain way. You'll be able to easily discern that now. And people, let's put it this way. I'll tell you this right now. People will feel naturally drawn to you right now. They will feel comfortable around you. Like, ask any Scorpio, right? Or somebody with a Scorpio moon, or even a Cancer moon. Anywhere where the moon or Pluto is it's a darker energy. It's a shadowy energy. But when you have that energy about you, people just like open up their shit to you. Like, ask anybody with a Scorpio moon, or heavy Scorpio placements, or heavy moon placements. There's just a sense of people just start talking to you about their shit because they just assume that you'll understand. That's kind of what it is, and they open up everything. And that may get irritating, may get annoying, but ultimately it's also sort of like there's a comfort zone with you right now. People trust you with their darker aspects right now. So there you go. Oh, God bless you, Esther. You're the best. You guys, you're so wonderful. Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you for brightening up my day with your donation. I appreciate that. Hey guys, I didn't see everybody that just jumped on, because I'm channeling and I'm going over the charts. But so this is a really interesting energy for dealing with not the truth, but our truth. Like, who are we really? What are we comfortable with? And why? What is actually causing us to feel these dynamic pressures around us? Are they real, or are they assumed because of how we feel about ourselves? I had an interesting conversation with myself this morning, where I kind of figured out and I worked out that if somebody jokes on you and makes a joke to you about you, or about something about you, um, and you get triggered by it, that doesn't say as much about the person who told the joke as it does about you. Because when you really like something about yourself, people can joke about it for hours and you don't care. It's like water off a duck's back. If something has insulted you, that's the good way to use this energy is to be like, oh, 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 now I have clarity about something, how I feel about something. Now I have clarity about how I'm uncomfortable with something. And if I can understand that discomfort and that, if I could, that feeling, and I can help work through that, there's a lot of opportunity for me to change who I am structurally at my core and be happier with myself and happier with who I am. I know my key triggers have always been, Tourette syndrome, which I have, which is why I blink so much, or every once in a while. Like, you'll see it all the time in the videos, but I know that one of my key triggers is that. I have a larger nose. People have made fun of that. And my club thumbs, people have made fun of that my whole life. There are a lot of different dynamics about myself that people could easily trigger with me, but really it stems from my insecurities about those things. And other people who don't feel insecure about those things, they'd be able to hear a joke and they wouldn't care at all. Right. So ultimately, you really have to understand where you're triggered and what makes you sensitive, because it's really more of a statement about how you feel about something than how somebody feels about you because they're joking with you. They may just try and think they're being playful. They may not even see it as an insult. But if you are insulted, then ultimately it's because there's something inside of you that is still hurting about that. And that's an opportunity to understand it and to work to heal it. That's kind of what it is. I just got an email recently. Hey, Carolyn, good morning to you. Hey, Sophie. Glad you caught on. Um, um, you know, I just heard, I just got an email recently from somebody who was like, I'm unsubscribing to your channel because you show your cleavage too much. I think it's horrible that you think that that's a way to promote yourself. And I deleted it. I got boobs, bitch. Like, that's all. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, 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 I got boobs. So ultimately, it's easy to just delete something that you don't give a fuck about, or that you think is more interesting. But other insulting things, like, I may be even more insulted by, like I don't know, like why do you blink so much or something, and maybe I don't want to talk about it, right? But that may not be somebody trying to insult me. It just, maybe they're curious about it. They don't, you can take something as an insult that wasn't even meant as an insult, right? So ultimately, what your triggers are internal. And it's a good way for you to learn about what is hurting me, what is really bothering me. Let me lay it out on the table. This is a great time for things to be laid out on the table and to be looked at, especially with Pluto in retrograde, to be able to be brave enough to look at those aspects that really bother you, that you don't want to look at. But, here's a chance to look at them and really see them. So, a lot of beautiful energy, but the Aries, Taurus, Gemini quadrant was really, really a hot spot right now. It just is. Pisces is starting to, the energy is starting to run out. The energy is starting to come out of the sea and up on board, where we can, like, start to see them, um, tangibly, start to tangibly interact with something that maybe we only dreamed about, or we were only feeling psychically. If you're used to psychic energy and you're used to working in it, then you'll be able to deal with it all the time. But I think a lot of what we've been feeling, or these intuitive vibrations that we have been experiencing rather than understanding, they're now being put out onto the table so that we can really hash them out and understand them very clearly. And that's why it's a very important time. Oh, thank you, Sophie. I appreciate it. And the thing is this, I don't flaunt them. I just have them. And I've noticed that for a long time. and I'm not even big busted. I'm like a C cup. That's all I like. That's not even like D. Women have D's, and I mean, our bodies grow in different sizes and different shapes. But there is this sense of in a contingency in society that if you have larger breasts, it's the shame game. You have to cover them up because it's sloppy and it's disgusting and it's sexual. It's maturity. It's a grown female usually definitely has larger breasts than when she was a child. It's a sign of maturity. It's sexual to those who are attracted to it. I, as a heterosexual female, am not sexually aroused by breasts. And so when I look at them, I see them as beautiful. I admire them, but I'm not aroused by it. So not everybody is aroused or considers breasts sexually arousing, right? They don't equate sex to breasts immediately. I equate breasts to motherhood. I equate breasts to maturity, just a mature female form. That of you got an XX chromosome, you got boobies, and your boobies are gonna be bigger when you're 30 than when you were 3. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Of course. But they're like, I don't really see it as sexual, and I just have them. And yeah, I live in Southern California, where it's frequently 70 to 80 degrees, and in the summer you'll see that I wear tank tops all the time because I'm hot and my apartment doesn't have air conditioning. And it's just like, so what I wear is functionality based, it's comfort based. Like, I'm a Cancer, dude. I'm a Cancer sun, I'm a Cancer moon, I'm a Cancer Jupiter. I'm all about the home and feeling cozy. So what I wear because I'm comfortable. And so when people comment on my breasts, it is true. It's like, why are you looking at them? Like, if like, you can even listen to my videos. My videos are listenable. You don't even have to watch me, because really I'm just like a talking head video on here. There's not many. I'm not giving you a lot of visuals here. I got my cute little background and stuff, but I'm not giving you a lot of visuals. You could just listen to me. You don't even have to look at me. So it's ultimately like it's you, what you see and what you notice. It's got nothing to do with me, right? It doesn't have anything to do with me. And I was saying this, I noticed a long time ago. I don't know if you guys experienced this ever, but I noticed a long time ago, like, girls with smaller breasts could get away with wearing, well, not get away with, they could wear these tank tops and nobody thought they looked perverted or trying to be too sexy. But as soon as I wore a tank top that fit me, not too tight, right? It was immediately like, why are you trying to show your boobs? No, that's just the cut of the shirt. Like, I'm not, I'm just trying to wear a certain style of clothes. Well, that style doesn't look good on you. You need to cover up for your comfort. Cause I'm not covering up when it's 80 degrees outside. Like, fuck you. That's not going to happen. You know what I'm like? But I noticed that. And it's just like, no, we're wearing the same clothes. Stop saying it's something different, because you're interpreting it different. Right. I mean, there are a lot of people that I see, not just readers, or astrologers, but any kind of YouTubers. They have these big, um uh they wear all this facial makeup, male and female. They wear all this face makeup. They have brightly painted lips. They have these big, long, fake eyelashes. And I'm like, what do you think that is? That's sexual. That's sexual and that's intentional. Like, my breasts are on my body. Those people are choosing to put all that makeup on their face. Like, that's what whores used to wear. And I'm not trying to say, I don't think anything's wrong with being a whore. So I was flat out to you. I don't judge prostitutes, escorts. God bless you. I just hope you're safe. I just hope you're safe and you're not, getting beaten on by a pimp. But do you, boo? I'm not trying to hate on anybody, right? But there's just a sense of, how do you think, like, that's sexuality? When you paint your face, that's an advertisement for, hey, look at me. Somebody, a woman with breasts, is not necessarily saying, hey, look at me, because you're looking at them, right? Like what I'm wearing today. I guess you could see a little bit of my cleavage. There you go. I have boobs. Like, what do you want me, what do you want me to do? But ultimately, is what I'm trying to point out. Let me bring it back to the astrology. Is it says a lot more about you. What you notice says a lot more about you than it does about the other person. Because the other person may, even if they said something to you, hey, cutie, you could either take that as, oh, hey, or you could take it as, well, why are you being disrespectful? That's misogynistic. What, to call you cutie? Like, what is that? I don't, like, your triggers are your responsibility. Very few of these statements that have triggered people were actually harassment, or, intended to do harm, and I don't even think the people, I mean, like, let's put it this way. The person who sent me the email did intend me to do harm, because that's not even a comment underneath my video. They legitimately had to scroll down 3/4 of the way through to where you see Born Without Boundaries, my email address, just to send me a letter that says, I'm unsubscribing from you. Then unsubscribe from me. Do you understand? Like, I have almost 100,000 subscribers. There are people who have 100 million subscribers. But you have to understand, after a certain point of subscription, I don't know who goes or who stays. I want to see my subscribers grow. But I also know that that growth is the average, is what's left over between what I've gained and what I've lost. People unsubscribe to me all the time. So you don't have to fucking announce that you're unsubscribing from me. The only reason you would is because you want attention. That's the only reason. Like, to email somebody and say, I'm unsubscribing for, it's because you want a dialogue with me and you want my attention and you want to insult me. You want to make sure that I saw your insult. And good news, baby, I saw your insult and I fucking deleted it, because it don't matter to me at all. But it brings up it, I can use it as a really good metaphor or example for today, which shows that the way people approach you has, no, how you react to the way people approach you shows who you are, not who they are. And I know that when there's these extreme cases of somebody actually attacking you, well, that shows something about you too. Will you punch back? Punch back. Do you run? Well, like, what's better to do in that moment? Extreme cases, it's different, right? There are primal energies that just take over. But ultimately, all of your behavior, except the primal, subconscious, automatic responses, all of your behavior, all of your choices, that's the only thing in the world that you can ever control. Like, there's everything else, 99.9%, you can't control shit. But you can control your behavior. You control your choices, which your choices are your behavior and your reaction. Now, behavior is a little bit different because, like I said, there is some subconscious behavior that we just do. Like, for example, with my Tourette syndrome, I can't control, because I have it, I can't control that I tick. Like, my ticks are just going to happen naturally. Sometimes I can control how much I tick, or I can kind of reroute the tick to be something else, but I always am going to tick. That's just not something that I have control over, but ultimately, when somebody makes fun of that about me, if I'm hurt by it, it's because I am still insulted by my Tourette syndrome. I am still unhappy with it being a part of me. And ultimately, I'm not insulted by it anymore. If people comment on it, if people make fun, they may not even be making fun of me. They may be making fun of somebody else, and I'm not going to get insulted by it, because I'm perfectly happy with who I am, with my life and my body. So ultimately, that's not going to insult me. If it becomes, there's a difference, right? If it becomes constant attack and it becomes constantly, they're intending to come after me, and I say, whoa, this is a little too much for me to handle. You need to back off. And they persist. That's harassment. That's harassment, because I've told you that it's hurting me and you continuing to do it, right? That's harassment. But it's like a general statement put out there, for example, or a general joke that isn't even aimed toward one person. If that triggers you to the point where you want to delete somebody's profile or something because that tells something about you. Like, for example, with my breast, I didn't wear a shirt for your sake. I wore it for my comfort, because I have to be comfortable when I'm channeling. I have to be comfortable with who I am, right? I have to be comfortable with all of it, with how I look, who I am, how I feel. So I didn't do it for you. I didn't aim it at you, right? If you feel I did, that says something about you, not about me. And it's a wonderful opportunity for you to sit with that, understand it, and the truly brave and the truly harmoniously vibrational will be the people who understand that, know that. And I guarantee you, you will work on yourself. You will help to heal that darker aspect inside of you that you may not have realized was even there. With Pluto in retrograde, you may not even known that you have some of these triggers. And it's a really wonderful opportunity to work with your triggers and see what triggers you, understand them better, and heal. It's a wonderful time to heal. I'm just going to put it out there for you. Um, um, well, let me answer the question. But yeah, people make fun of everything. They don't make fun of me particularly, but do you know how many jokes are about Tourette syndrome all the time? Take a lick and keep on taking. You never heard that one? It's like, so what? That's not fucked up. People use humor for a lot of different reasons, and sometimes they use it to diffuse tension in themselves. Like, I don't understand. Or, I don't know, maybe I understand as somebody who has Tourette syndrome. I've been around people with Tourette syndrome and it's uncomfortable for me. I understand that when you watch somebody tick, it's a very uncomfortable thing. So a big way that some people handle discomfort is to start to joke about it, start to laugh about it. I understand that as healing. I don't understand that as insulting or you're trying to degrade me. You're trying to work through your own discomfort. I understand that and appreciate it. I use humor in that way as well. So I don't think it's fucked up. Only way that I would think it was fucked up is if I looked at somebody and said, "Okay, now it's really starting to get to me. Can you lay off?" And they continue to persist. That's the only time that I would think, "Okay, they're out to hurt me." Right? Because ultimately it could be just their reaction to trying to deal with discomfort. Because, like I said, even though I have Tourette syndrome, being around people with Tourette syndrome is uncomfortable. I get it, because watching somebody constantly tick is an uncomfortable thing. And I don't expect people to be comfortable with it, right? They can find a way to be comfortable with it, but ultimately humor is how they do it, right? And that's why laughter is so beautiful and so healing, because it can diffuse the tension in the room and open up a conversation about something. So just because somebody's using humor as a device doesn't mean they're making fun of you. They could be making fun with you, right? Incorporating you into a discussion, making people laugh at me. Could, if that's a choice, like, they're either laughing at me or they're laughing with me. If I'm laughing too, then they're laughing with me. If I'm not laughing, then they're laughing at me. So ultimately, if I can find the humor and understand, why somebody is uncomfortable. And listen, if I'm not comfortable with the joke, all I can say is, if it's to me, the joke may not even be about me. The joke may be on a tweet. It may be on Facebook. It may be somewhere that it wasn't even directed to me at all. And I just happened to see it. It may have just been a general joke. And if I'm triggered by that, then that's where I have to sit and say, well, I have to work with my discomfort with my syndrome, because clearly there's parts of me that I haven't accepted, because this is who I am and I love who I am. And it has to be to a point where it's so general for you that it would be like white people jokes. Okay. I mean, I'm Caucasian. I laugh at them all the time. Black people jokes. I'm sure black people laugh at them all the time too. It's like, are you really being made fun of, or people just having a laugh at a concept of you? Because my Tourette's isn't me, right? I'm a mixture of everything. I'm not defined by my syndrome. It's a part of me. I'm not proud of it. Why would I be proud of something I didn't choose? I think you only have a right to be proud of something that you worked on. I don't work on my Tourette's. It was given to me. It taught me a lot about myself, and that's just a dynamic of I'm happy with it. I'm happy. It's the difference between pride, which I talked to you about before. Pride is the cellophane that we wrap our insecurities in. So I'm not proud of my Tourette's. I'm happy with myself and I have Tourette's. I'm happy with myself and I'm happy and I have Tourette's. I also have breasts and I'm happy with them. I'm happy with myself. It's like these are all different aspects of me, and I'm a complete. I'm not different parts. I'm not ashamed of any of my parts. And those parts that I am ashamed of, I know that that's a cue. Oh, if I'm ashamed, there's healing to be done. There's healing to be done. So ultimately, when I read that email today, for going back to the examples in the astrology, when I read the email today, I know this is somebody else's problem, not mine. I didn't for a second think that something was wrong with me or that I have to change who I am. There's nothing, right? There's absolutely there's absolutely nothing. I remember that there was an incident when I was young, and I had said, "Hey, Tana, I remember there was an incident when I was younger. I was like 19 years old, and I had said to somebody, I was working in a restaurant, and two guests, friends of my manager, had come in. Really nice people, really nice people. And the guy smiled and he was talking to me. And I'm like, "You have vampire teeth." Now, in high school, I was a huge fan of Anne Rice, and I read all her vampire chronicles, all of them. So for me, vampires were like interesting and intriguing and dark and sexy, and he had really prominent canines. Like everybody has canines, but he had really long, pointy ones. And he was an older man, so it was just how they were built. It wasn't how he didn't do it on purpose. He didn't have prosthetics or anything. And he and his wife laid into me. She goes, "That's really rude. You should watch how you talk to people." And I was like, because she like snapped. And I was like, I didn't know where she was coming from. I didn't even know how she was insulted, because I wasn't insulting him. To me, they were cool, you know? And she immediately took it as an insult. That says something about you, not about me. It's like, watch your words. I thought I was pointing out that you were cool. Like, I love vampires. I think they're the coolest thing. Like, I was so into, because Interview with the Vampire had just come out, and I think there was still talk of Lestat being made, and eventually did get made. And Anne Rice was really big. It was a really prominent time for her, and I read all her books because she's an exceptional writer, as in she just uses words in a beautiful painterly way. She's got she passed away, rest in peace, but she just had such a wonderful way with using words to create stories. Amazing writer, exceptional stories. And I thought, you have vampire teeth. He didn't even lay into me. His wife immediately, "You should watch how you talk." I didn't know I was talking in a way that was insulting. I didn't understand that that was even an insult. I apologized. I didn't mean to offend you. An apology is a defense of one's actions. It's not even a statement of regret, because I didn't regret saying you have vampire teeth, because I knew that it came from a place of fascination and wonderment, and thought it was really fucking cool, right? But I did apologize to make my point clear. I was like, "Oh, I didn't. Oh, I may have said sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to insult you. I thought they were really cool." you know, like, so you can get offended. Like, how you take things says more about you than anything at all. And harassment, of course, is intentionally offensive. And harassment is a crossing of a clearly defined line. There are a lot of lines in interhuman interactions that are not clearly defined, and they shouldn't be, because when you have to put people in lines and you clearly define all these lines, that becomes a highly regulated, really, really a cruel in its own self, because it's not a free society anymore. There's too many lines, and there's too many consequences. Like, it's almost becomes like one of those spy films where you have to like sneak around. How do I even get like all those red laser lights? You have to be like a contortionist to get through. And it's just like, no, too many lines are because nobody wants you to move anywhere. And that says something about a society too. A society that has to live within lines is a society that is not capable, a society that's very uncomfortable with itself. I think it was Socrates that said, an unjust society, Like the rules in a country or a society are directly proportional to how much injustice there is in the society. It's like the more rules, the more injustice, right? It's directly proportional, and it wasn't the rules aren't a response to the injustice. They are creating the injustice, right? They're oppressive. So ultimately, that is like, we need to get rid of the lines, right? In order to get rid of the lines, you have to be okay with yourself. And if you're not okay with yourself, that's when you start saying, well, you have to protect me in this way, and you have to protect me in this way, and you have to do this, and people aren't allowed to do this. And that says a lot about your character too. And ultimately, that's not my character at all. And if I'm insulted by something, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. But ultimately, that's kind of the energy that's happening in astrology right now, is the difference between right and wrong, and offensive or not offensive, or the aspects inside ourselves that we are triggered by, and realizing, but they're inside of us. They're not outside of us. And that's going to become a really clear dynamic now. I've talked your ear off, guys. I know you're here for a reading, so I'm just going to get into the reading right now. Let's put the charts away. What energy do you want to talk to me about? Here we are, Queen of Wands, which she is like the embodiment of self-confidence, feeling good about yourself, star quality, a beautiful person that people can't take their eyes off of. And the reason why is because she's not paying attention to anybody. The Queen of Wands is not somebody who wants attention. The Queen of Wands is somebody who gets attention. And she gets attention because she's so focused on her craft or her skill that she's inspiring everybody just by being alive. That's the Queen of Wands. And she does. She has star power. And it's like, oh, I want to be her. I want to be her. You want to be here. It's not about putting on makeup or getting attention, because she doesn't worry about any of that shit. I want to be here is all about find your passion and live in it, live through it, live because of it every single day. That's Queen of Wands. And then we have Princess of Wands. So this is somebody who is it. She has arrived. And this is somebody who's still aspiring to be it. She's just begun. The fact that one became before the other is, I don't know, maybe there's maybe there's just a spark of interest in something new, like finding a new passion that you might want to pursue. This is also fiery passion being attracted to. So this could say a new attraction. Oh, there's tension here. There may be even competition. There may be even competition. There's a lot of fire on the table right now. And then we have the devil. Stuck. Combativeness, stuck. Somebody's trapped, somebody's stuck, there's addiction here. Maybe a lot of conflict because of addiction. Okay. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune is here. So the Wheel of Fortune is all this is karma. And we have Saturn energy here. Saturnian energy, karma being built up, a lot of something, I don't know. And then we have King of Swords here, a decision being made, a clear decision being made. That's our central energy. So it's like being able to discern, having good discernment, clear discernment. Six of Swords is here, working something out, figuring something out, being able to move on from trauma, or being able to move on from, just being able to move on. And then we have Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is here. Nine of Pentacles is here, which is all about gain. People finally giving you what you've worked really hard for. It's all about also being single, maybe deciding to move away from a certain dynamic of some sort of situation where it was addictive and there was a lot of fighting or contention. Five of Wands is a lot of contention aimed at you, maybe aimed at you because of an addiction. which isn't really fair either. And then we have Princess of Pentacles. She's kind of in reverse. She's kind of wonky. This is, I'm going to put her straight up though. This is a beginning, the new start, the start of something. But in reverse, she's more like somebody who's really needy, somebody who's really do it for me, kind of very lazy energy. Okay. And then we have Two of Cups. So there's some sort of love affair here. And I just want to point out the devil is here in terms of the devil card also has a love affair, but it's an addictive love affair. It's a bad love affair. It's a karmic love affair because the devil is Capricornian energy. Saturn is Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is karma, right? A karmic lesson. And then we have Two of Cups, which is being with somebody who can love you, being with somebody who will love you, being with somebody who does love you. Final energy. Final energy. 10 of Wands, a heavy burden or a heavy. So this is about I got to say, this is about a relationship. There's some relationship here that was oppressive, a heavy burden. Somebody loves somebody a great deal. Heavy burden, taking on a lot of responsibility. And with the devil here, this is a sense of, I don't know. There's a heaviness here. King of Swords is here about, I think, finally being able to see. Finally, and that's that beautiful Mercury Pluto energy. Finally being able to clearly discern the burdens, the struggles, the sadness, the pain, or realize, right, in terms of relationships, especially relationship dynamics, where we were stuck, like how much we took, how much we withstood, how burdened we were with all of that. Being able to, King of Swords is a judge. It's a judge or a counselor. Somebody being able to come through and see something really clearly about the dynamics. And this being our central energy, our central card is now us being able to see clearly, to clearly be able to see where all the burdens and all the struggles and all the tension was. Conclusions are within reach right here. So ultimately, yeah, it's like we're finally being able to see the truth of something. We can put lipstick on a pig all we want. We talk about lipstick, it's still a pig, right? Conclusions are within reach. I'd like to understand what kind of conclusions are, but at least we're waking up to and starting to realize what we put ourselves through. This is Scorpionic energy, rising like a phoenix. Somebody who was burned down and maybe destroyed is coming back. This is Pluto energy. I would say that the cards have predicted. So the rise here, the Plutonic energy is working, like I said, Gemini, big week for you. It's working on behalf of Gemini. Like you're going to get to rise from the ashes and be restored. Or it's just a sense of finally being able to, talk about it, be reborn, let something out. We have 8, which is something finally working out for us. That's also and love, something about love. It's being made really clearly. It's like we've transformed how we see love. A lot of times we lie to ourselves about bad relationships and bad situations that we're in. We lie to ourselves constantly. Giving people too much credit or allowing people to really hurt or harm us, and that burdening us and making us heavier and heavier and heavier. And ultimately, that's what this is. This is like a rise from that. It's like also being able to maybe meet somebody new, find somebody new, especially through talking, through friendship, through connecting with them on a level of honesty and truth. So this is a real good time to start forming relationships with people, because you will be very easy. It'll be easy to talk, to tell people about yourselves and not feel ashamed about yourselves, and be able to be open and listen and honestly communicate, especially about those aspects or dynamics where we are not necessarily always comfortable with. But it ended up in a very beautiful energy. Love. There's love here. There's potential for love. There's potential for innocent love. It's innocent. I've actually never read this card before, so I'm going to read it. I know this is going on a long time because I ranted and ranted. 8 holds within it the spiritual light of protection and provides enhanced immunity for those who work within it. It stands as a reminder of the continuum of, birth, death, and rebirth. And what came out? What came out? Birth, death, and rebirth. That allows for limitless possibilities for living life on earth, to create, expand, and for the evolution of the soul. It stands as a reminder that resources must be shared for flow to continue and balance to be maintained. So it's like giving, prosperity, sharing prosperity, opening yourself up, sharing, giving. You're protected. It's fine. You're safe. But it's also a sense of, I feel like I can share again. I feel like I can be with somebody else again. It's like, I feel like I am healed from this experience. We're also going to get the love card. I've never read that one before. Remember, if you guys were on a few weeks ago, I couldn't find it. I'd never even seen it in this deck. I thought my deck didn't come with it. That's how much, like, I didn't even see it. You have chosen this playground as a way to create through a uniquely emotional journey. When you embrace a spiritual practice as part of a daily routine, you may find it easier to recognize the deeper meaning and synchronicities and let go of self-limiting beliefs that arise in everyday experiences. Make a gratitude list and work on forgiving those who don't yet understand. They will get there in their own time. Like I said, a whole opening conversation, right? About how you act is how you are. It's not about other people. Learn to accept others when they aren't at their best and respect them when they are. No one is perfect. When we keep the door open to love, no matter what we encounter, we gain clarity and wisdom to transform difficulties throughout life. And ultimately, that's not having any boundaries. That's setting up the right ones, right? And almost always, like, setting boundaries for somebody is actually a way of loving them as well. A way of protecting them. You are protected. Set boundaries for yourself. We've learned, this is almost like I've learned how to set healthy boundaries for myself. I've learned how to be okay with that duality, that dualistic nature of who I am, right? And I've learned that side of myself, and I've understood what I can do, what I can't do, what I'm comfortable with, what I'm not comfortable with. The more clear I am on who I am and what my comfort levels are, the better it is. Let's go into the angel messages really quick. I'm going to get this for you. No, I'm just going to go right into these cards because oh my God, it's an hour. I've talked your ear off. I usually don't talk this long. I usually don't have that much to say. Harmony. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose. Every day can be harmonious if we want it to be. And I keep talking about harmony this whole reading. Remember, you can only be in tune with others when you are tuned yourself. So harmony starts inside of you and balancing out the duality and those dynamics inside of who you are. It absolutely does. Okay. Adventure. Instead of seeing the current situation as an obstacle, try seeing it as an adventure. Explore all the possibilities. There are many more than you currently imagine. Instead of seeing things as either black or white, try to explore all the colors in between. Full spectrum, guys, not just black and white. Black and white is the worst boundary ever. In other words, yin and yang, duality. Um, don't just look at the black and white. Look at the pieces of the yin and the yang that are inside of each other. That's representative of the spectrum, that we're all linked together and that there's more than just black and white, right? There's this full spectrum. And then we have anxiety. We surround you with the healing light of amethyst. Take a deep breath and breathe in this beautiful violet light. Feel your anxiety melting away. There is nothing to fear. There is only love. And that's it. I love you guys like crazy. Mwah. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for your donations. You were awesome. Yeah, you guys were awesome. I appreciate those donations so much. God bless you all. I hope that you all had a really like enjoyed this reading. And yeah, definitely if you want zodiac sign specific readings, head on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot. Also, my live chats are starting tomorrow. Like I do them Friday, Saturday. So if you're interested in live chatting with me, go join a membership over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot, and you could live chat with me every single day, asking me questions. Like I'll pull cards for you. I'll help you understand your chart a little bit better. If you like, we'll have actually question and answer sessions over there. So that's the difference between here, which is a general reading, and over there, I actually pull cards for you. I actually do work with you. So those are really special kind of meetings that we have for members only. So if you're interested, go to Born Without Boundaries Tarot and check out those meetings. I love you guys. Check out the memberships. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you tomorrow. I'll be on here tomorrow. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.